Welcome back, everybody, to our weekly empath here for the coming week, December, 22nd, 21st till 28th of December 2018. That's week 52, and it marks a really remarkable, very important week for all of you guys. It is a shift expansion wave number 3 that we are all feeling that comes in here with the winter solstice. And winter solstice obviously only applies to us in the northern hemisphere. So it's the time when the days get longer, and when there's basically a shift change between I don't know how you visualize this, between the moon and the sun. It's of course more complicated. I've written about this, so if you are part of my email list and you've received an article yesterday pointing this out, and why the new year starts this Friday on the 21st. So solstice energies are very important for the empath, for the energetically sensitive person, and for the energy healer, because it marks a different arrival, so to speak, if you will, or like a rebirth, as I often call it, the rebirth of our inner sacred light. And so what this next week will do for you is that it will literally determine entire 2019, but especially the first 6 months. So everything up until the summer solstice, which is when there is another shift change, letting go, clearing out old energies, allow the new in. We're just moving on. Okay, so what is it that this week here is bringing in? Okay, first of all, you see the energy barometer. So those of you who've been following me for a while know this. It measures the energetic intensity in the collective. So as empaths, as energetically sensitive, whether you label yourself that way or not, you are susceptible to collective energies. And when the intensity levels go high, then you will feel bombarded, you will feel frazzled, you will feel more fragmented, you will feel the need for coping more than than in times where the energy barometer is more on the green side of things. Like we had last week, we had a green week. Now, green or orange or red doesn't mean that this is going to be a great week or a bad week. No, it means that there is less outer bombardment. Looking at orangey bombardment levels, we're going to have pretty much both going on in this next week. Those of you who have been following me, the predicted energy waves here coming in, we're looking at the third wave coming in on Friday. So we'll start on Thursday already, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday will be experienced intense, and it will be followed by irritability, agitation. The news that will affect you more. You'll feel more stressed out, energetically stressed out. Okay, and this can then lead to all kinds of physical sensations. Sometimes it makes our chronic pains flare up, and sometimes it triggers our addiction. So you got to be careful here with this next week, not just because it's holiday time and most of us here in the societies around the world use this time as a very sacred time to have these celebrations, whatever the religious background is, and there's a lot of family gatherings, and there's of course the consumerism that comes in through the gift giving and so forth. So it's not just because of that. That will trigger things such as financial worries in you, and scarcity mindsets, where you feel the lack all of a sudden and you'll cramp down. And I'll talk about this here in a little bit. How you can counteract this, but I think the best way to describe the energies that are coming in here with this solstice, besides really feeling that there is some new energy coming in, and most likely simultaneously that old energies have to be let go of, is this a temporary vacuum. There's a vacuum, and from an energetic point of view, this is a wonderful window, time frame, opportunity to look behind the veil of perception, of collective perception. Okay, so whenever these little, it's like a glitch in the matrix. Okay, that's when your perception increases. That's when you can tap into your future. Well, for most people, it's really into the truth of their present moment awareness. Right, that's when you can tap in this better. And this is why we recommend to use this time, and this is why we every year have a big energy training and healing events around the winter solstice. So we have a big event coming up on Friday at the exact peak of the winter solstice, called Breaking Free, how to tap into more meaning and purpose. So check this out. Because this is the time where you can naturally, tap into sort of feeling out the energies that are coming in. And it will feel relatively physical here and emotional. Okay, so brace yourself for some of your physical systems reacting to this stomach issues, gallbladder issues, not just because of the food and the excessive eating, but also, like just really feeling more disconnected from yourself. And a lot of that has to do with our needs that we couldn't really sort of fulfill here, that we couldn't really meet. Many of you are coming home from school or from college for break, and there is of course a lot of things that you wanted to do. You will want to meet your friends, you'll want to chill, game or whatever. Pay attention to not going into too much excessiveness with this, because it will impact your body and the way you feel connected. This whole next year, guys, is all going to be about how you can integrate your higher vibratory goals, the fulfillment, love, abundance, purpose, joy, healing, into your practical life. And you will feel this, this need for practicability, for feasibility, for, realness, if you will, here coming in this next week, real strongly. It's important that you allow things to boil down to its essence. What does this truly mean to you, to me? What is my true heart's desire? Are those goals, are those things that I think I have to accomplish, are they really true to me? Do I really feel them? Practice by trying to really pinpoint your feelings, not just your emotions, your feelings in your physical body. Where do I feel this? Where do I feel what? Can I feel when things are not real? Can I feel when something is contracting my energy? Can I feel when something isn't true to me? Where in my body do I feel this? This is my self-coaching tip here for this next week. So it will be a good week to go into more sensuality, so smells and tastes and all that, of course, but also really, actively seeking, sort of holistic things that help you to connect with your body. I'm going to recommend water healing, taking long baths or sauna or steam baths. In the energy tips, if you are a heart warrior, you work with me directly for 90 days, then you will get these in-depth, detailed energy tips for every week, breaking it down to the energy centers, the chakras that are affected, the physical, emotional, mental, social, spiritual, and energetic aspects of this next week. If you are not a heart warrior, but you would like to get those, then we now have the option that you can support transCODES at a Patreon and become a Patreon supporter, and then you get this as premium content every week, these in-depth energy tips. So there I'll explain this in a bit more detail, but for the most part, this temporal shift, into the essentials of things, okay, you will feel this physically. It will come forward for you physically and go with it. That's my tip for you. Ask yourself, really, where do I feel these things, and what do they mean? And And mentally, they have, of course, they also show you what your mindset is, and what your life's views are, and the quality of your sensations and your energy. So a lot of that has to do with learning, being willing to learn this new language, of energies. Because as a spiritually awakening person, as a spiritually awake person, you are also awakening to new powers, to new manifestation powers in you. And you will also begin to see new approaches, new manifestation approaches. And a lot of that has to do with you being willing to go there now and, sort of recapitulate, to actively clear, all the stuff that you've accumulated, that you've absorbed in this year, maybe tragedies or things that happened in your life, or pains. There's by the way, a brand new episode from the Heart Warriors Radio out since last night, called The Spiritual Purpose of Pain. It's a wonderful, wonderful episode with Ryan McCormick, Jeff Casper, and I talking about the deeper purpose of pain, and what an opportunity comes in when we really embrace and not resist pain. I strongly recommend you guys to listen to this, 25-minute radio episode. It's on the transCODES website. Also, if you are making plans for next year, if you are making traveling plans for next year, travel plans, I want to send out a very important announcement to you. Some of you already know this, and there's quite a few people already who have signed up for coming. I've mentioned this briefly here, how the winter solstice basically paves the road to for the next 6 months until the summer solstice in the Northern Hemisphere, that is. And this year, the only in-person workshop that we ever do is usually around the summer solstice or the equinoxes, but preferably around the summer solstice, will be held in Iceland this year. So if you've ever needed a good reason to go to Iceland this summer, around the summer solstice, so 20th till 22nd of June 2019, we're going to have a 3-day workshop. It's called Overcoming Duality. It's maybe a lot mental. What it really is learning how to really integrate your higher vibratory goals into this 3D reality. Your spiritual awakening does not have to be separate from your life. You want to overcome and balance all these inner conflicts, and there's new tools that you have available, and there's new powers that you can awaken to. And in these in-person workshops, we demonstrate, we show, we train you how to access those. And it's a wonderful, almost magical place that we are doing this workshop at. So I'm not only encouraging you to come to the workshop, I'm also encouraging you to perhaps even plan extra days around this and explore Iceland as one of those really, really intense but intensely beautiful places of this planet. And those of you who will come will have the ability or the opportunity to actually see how to practically apply all this, because where we are holding the workshop is a very, very special place on Iceland, where you can see all this already integrated in a community that has dedicated themselves to these higher vibratory goals and have actually done it already, guys. So it's possible. So for those of you, in doubt that, your goals and your visions are possible next year, if you come to Iceland, you will be able to see how this works. It does work. All right, so it's this translation from the conceptual, from the sort of spiritual into the practical, the feasibility of things. And that's why I called this energy update Essentiality, because you can tap into this right now, this next coming week. The giveaway for next week is a really beautiful one. I only offer this service really once a year. And let me announce what you have to do to qualify for this. I'm offering 2 personal abundance coaching sessions with me. This is a 2-hour session developing an energy roadmap with you for the entire year of 2019. And you can qualify for this and I've made this a little easier because the video has the link for the Sacred Self-Healing Facebook group attached to it. So sorry guys, if you are watching from the forum link here to this live stream, you can't really do this online, but it always takes a while for people to figure out how to do this. So the first 2 new Sacred Self-Healing Facebook group members will get a free 2-hour energy abundance coaching session with me. We scheduled this. This is over Skype audio or phone, and it comes with an energetic alignment for you personally. And we're going to develop a roadmap for you, what to focus on, what the self-healing guidance for you brings in this new year, things that need to be let go of, things that need to be cleared, things that need to be connected with, how to connect more, and of course also how to integrate this, how to become more practical. So this is the giveaway for week 52. The first 2 new members of the Sacred Self-Healing community here at Facebook will qualify for this giveaway. Yes, and wonderful to have you guys all here live. Please take this time now to formulate maybe comments or sharings. How are you feeling physically right now? How does this feel? Does it feel exciting? Does it feel agitating, irritating? You're going to feel a lot more of this here next week, just so you know, but don't get caught up by this. Most of you know this, that collective energies can only affect us for as much as we allow them in. I had this wonderful etheric protection intensive last weekend, and people were blown away by what they've learned in just 3 energy sessions, guys. You can learn how to control this better, how to manage this better. If you learn how to express your sensations, your feelings, and also your needs. So please use this opportunity here right now. I have one last announcement, and this is big, guys. I've mentioned it here and there, and you may have seen this somewhere on my website already. I am building a whole new brand, a whole new community here at transCODES, which is called So Spiritual. And yes, so spiritual. And it focuses around the essentials of awakening. Okay, it goes back to the fundamental things that we need to know, and it's mostly directed at newly awakened empaths or also younger people. Okay, so we're going to talk about the fundamentals of energy work and awakening here, and I am starting this whole new sort of section here at transCODES tomorrow at 12 p.m. We're going to have the kickoff show for our daily So Spiritual live show on Instagram and Facebook at the same time. And you will be able to call in to ask for a reading depending on the subjects that we are reflecting on. So just like in the previous years, this is supposed to, just accompany you through the holidays. A lot of you guys, feel this time is very challenging. So I just feel the calling to be there for you. And looking at the success in the last years, most people really appreciate this. Now, this will lead towards a massive thing that I'm going to start in the beginning of January, and that is how to literally learn how to change your life in 10 days. We're going to have a soul spiritual challenge where we're going to teach you how to practically change everything. Your body, your emotions, your mindset, your ability to meditate, and your ability to communicate and express. With a 10-day challenge that will show people, volunteers, before and after, that will go through, those exercises live every day, proving to you that 30 minutes a day can change your life for 10 days. And this is more or less the announcement of the next announcement. We are looking for volunteers who would like to go through this with us live for these 10 days. And we're going to give a big reward to these volunteers. They're going to get a 1-month Heart Warrior boot camp with me and Jeff to follow up on all of this. So we're not just going to teach you how to do this. Those who want to volunteer, and what does this entail? This entails you sharing, maybe sending videos from time to time and testimonials. We're going to accompany you through the continued, self-mastery that only gets started through this. But we do want to prove to you guys that all it takes to change your life is 10 minutes exercise, 10 minutes aligning your energy in through meditation, through silencing your mind, and 10 minutes of mutual exchange and sharing of your energy. And we're going to literally do this with you for 10 days. So kickoff is tomorrow at 12 p.m. here at Facebook and Instagram Live. Okay, so sorry for taking up so much space for that, but I really wanted to give you time to comment. Yes, okay, so there's feeling a little tired now, starting to get a little drained, but upbeat and cheerful about the coming holiday period. Yes, Justin, thank you for sharing. If you, and this is something that I will address in the energy tips, if you run into financial issues because, maybe you spend too much money on gifts or whatever, essentiality, allows you to just really be upfront, cut to the chase, tell people, I was really, really thinking of you. I really wanted to get you a gift, but I ran out of money. That's sort of how we can translate this into our ability to communicate this with others. Because after all, this next week will be still a wonderful opportunity to allow this deeper connection within ourselves and with others. Yes, everybody wants a piece of one, and that's the part that you need to be upfront about. Cut to the chase. When we can learn how to speak from the heart, then it doesn't hurt anybody's feelings. All right. So guys, this concludes the energy update here for this week. Please comment in the commentary here. Sign up for my email list, especially around these times where there's so much going on, to stay tuned, to stay updated with all the new things that we have going on here at transCODES throughout the holidays and into the new year. And smash the like button, subscribe to YouTube, to Facebook. You know the deal. I need that social media visibility, to even spread the info. Okay, I'm not monetizing my videos, so that's I need your help for that one. And I'm off here to record the energy tips for Patreon subscribers and Heart Warriors. I'm wishing you guys wonderful, wonderful holidays. Use this winter solstice either with us or within your own little solstice ceremony, to contemplate and to tap into 2019. The new year begins on Friday, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye.